for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For our region, today's event is the official kickoff for the biggest and most inclusive FIFA World Cup ever. While much of the focus has been on the hosts, today's draw is about the tremendous opportunity for the 32 Concacaf men's national teams in Central America and the Caribbean. In Concacaf, we have been working with all of our member associations for the past 6 years to support them in building up to this moment. We have put football first, with the introduction of the Concacaf Nations League back in 2018 and the consistent growth of our Gold Cup over the past 3 editions. Alongside enhanced Concacaf competitions, much work has gone into our football development and capacity building efforts to ensure our federations can thrive on and off the pitch. Our collective aim has been to provide each and every one of them with a platform to reach their next level and to ensure as many teams as possible can compete to reach the pinnacle of the game, a FIFA World Cup. To our federations, their coaches and players, and of course, to the passionate fans in our region, your FIFA World Cup 2026 journey starts today. I can't wait to see the football unfold on the pitch in what is sure to be a compelling qualification process. I wish you all the very best of luck for today's draw. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and I'm sure your excitement is shared by millions of football fans around the world. And that's especially true in the CONCACAF region, where Paulo One-Chop Watson got fans out of their seats and sofas whenever he was on the ball. And I am absolutely delighted to say that the Costa Rica legend is here with us today to help with the draw. Paulo, bienvenido. Welcome. Such a pleasure to have you here today and to get to talk to you about how special the CONCACAF qualifiers are now. Talk to me about the emotions that you felt as a player with Costa Rica going into the qualifying process. Háblame de las emociones que sentiste como un jugador en las eliminatorias.
Bueno, como todo costarricense, que el fútbol es el deporte número uno, de niño siempre hemos soñado en llegar a ser futbolistas y a mí, gracias a Dios, se me dio esa oportunidad de jugar al fútbol y es un momento pues especial siempre representar a Costa Rica y jugar en esos grandes escenarios.
Well, Paulo, they're saying that, of course, representing his country, it was just a very special moment in his life because he, like so many other Costa Ricans, for them, football is the #1 sport in the world. So to represent your country in your favorite sport at the highest level, it definitely fills you with pride. And otra vez queremos hablar de las emociones de cuando llegaste al Mundial y viste a la bandera de Costa Rica, ese nivel tan alto. ¿Qué sentiste? What did you feel seeing Costa Rica's flag, hearing the anthem at the World Cup at that high level?
Momento especial y mucho orgullo. El poder estar en ese escenario, el poder observar no solo la bandera, sino poder cantar el himno nacional en un mundial, pues es algo que he soñado y que gracias a Dios pues tuve esa oportunidad de tenerlo y de poder defender los colores patrios.
Well, he says he thanks God for giving him that opportunity to be able to get to a World Cup where he could not only see his country's flag flying so high, but be able to sing the words of his national anthem. We know that's definitely a moment that filled him with pride. Gracias, Paulo. Vamos a hablar contigo en un ratito. We'll speak to Paulo in just a bit. But right now, we have another great name of CONCACAF football to assist us with this draw. A man with over 100 caps for his country, Jamaica. It's Ricardo Bibi Gardner.
Ricardo, el jugador de Jamaica, con más de 100 apariciones con el seleccionado jamaicano.
Well, Bibi, welcome. Absolute pleasure to be able to share a stage with you as a fellow Jamaican. Bibi and I go way back. And I remember back in '98 when Jamaica qualified for that France World Cup. I was only 8 years old, but the things that you guys did, we got a week of public holidays. We had parades. It was probably the happiest time in the country. And for my 8-year-old self, it was one of the best days of my life. And this is that I was just a fan. But for you as a player, to be able to give that to your country, how did you feel?
It was an amazing feeling. I mean, I was just 18-year-old. It felt so surreal. That memory will always be present in my mind. And I remember being on the streets of Jamaica, seeing the fans wearing our colors, feeling the streets of Jamaica to celebrate the biggest moment in our country's history. It was just a great moment to be a part of. And myself and my teammates are so blessed to be a part of such a great moment of Jamaica's history.
Yeah, we know that Jamaica has many historic moments as well in sports. But fast forward now to the current crop of reggae boys. There's a lot of hype around this team. Some people even saying that they're right on par with your generation, if not more talented than your generation. So how do you see it as it relates to their chances qualifying for this World Cup?
I think compared to us back then, we were more raw talent. With little experience, with this crop of players that we have now, talented, plus more experience. With everything that they have, I think they have all that it takes to go and qualify for 2026 World Cup. And we're backing them to do that.
All right, so Bibi with some big words there. No pressure, reggae boys, but Bibi's backing you to qualify for this World Cup. Thank you so much to you. And of course, to Paula, we'll catch up with you guys in just a bit. But now it's time to focus on the reason why we're all here, right? The draw. So please welcome on the stage Chief Tournament Officer, USA, FIFA World Cup 26, Manolo Subiria. And just like magic, Manolo is right here. Manolo, it wouldn't be a big draw if you weren't here. So I know you've definitely come with some good news, especially because there's a new qualifying format. So could you tell me a bit more about how it's changed?
Absolutely, Alexis. And let me just say I'm delighted to be here. The new format gives Concacaf teams more opportunities than ever to qualify to the FIFA World Cup. Canada, Mexico, and the USA will not be part of the qualifying process, having already been guaranteed a place in the FIFA World Cup as co-host. Round 1 will consist of the 4 lowest ranked teams in the FIFA Coca-Cola rankings as of 21st of December of last year. They will play a playoff series over 2 legs in March of this year. That will decide which 2 teams will eventually join the other 28 CONCACAF nations in round 2 of World Cup qualifiers. Those first round playoff matchups have already been determined, but today we'll set out the path that the teams will follow to reach the 3rd and final round of CONCACAF's World Cup qualifying. Eventually, 3 teams will join the 3 co-hosts as automatic qualifiers, and 2 more CONCACAF countries could progress via the playoff tournament, potentially making it a total of 8 teams from CONCACAF region at the next FIFA World Cup. Now, through this short video, we'll try to make this whole process much clearer, so let's take a look.
The FIFA World Cup 26 will be the most inclusive ever, as 48 teams compete for world football's biggest prize. The unprecedented trio of co-hosts, Canada, Mexico, and the USA, already have their places, with up to 5 CONCACAF neighbors joining them at the final tournament. 3 teams will automatically clinch spots at the end of the CONCACAF qualifying process, which spans 3 rounds. A further 2 countries could qualify via the FIFA Intercontinental Playoff Tournament. The journey begins in March 2024. The lowest 4 CONCACAF teams in the men's FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking, as of the 21st of December 2023, have already been split into 2 matches based on their ranking. They face off over 2 legs, home and away, to determine who progresses from round 1. The winners line up alongside the remaining 28 CONCACAF nations in the FIFA Coca-Cola ranking, excluding the 3 co-hosts for the second round. The 30 teams are divided into 6 groups of 5, from A through to F, drawn from 5 pots. Before the start of the draw, the 6 highest-ranked teams have been placed in Pot 1, the next 6 in Pot 2, and so on until Pot 5 is complete. Starting with Pot 1 and progressing in sequence through to Pot 5, each group will be allocated 1 team from each pot. The team's position in the group matches the number of the pot they were drawn from. Kicking off in June 2024, each country will face every other team in the group once. That makes a total of 4 matches for each nation. By mid-June 2025, we'll know which teams occupy the top 2 spots in each group. That will see those 12 nations progress to the 3rd and final qualifying round and keeps their dream alive of being part of the greatest show on earth in 2026.
Okay, Alexis, so that should be clear, right?
Absolutely, Crystal. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, so let's just recap to make sure. There's 5 pots here on the stage, 3 pots to my right with Paulo, 2 pots to my left with Bibi. The draw will begin by drawing all the teams from pot 1, which includes the highest ranked teams of this evening's draw. And then we'll conclude with drawing the 6 teams from pot number 5, which are the lowest ranked teams in the draw. Important to mention that the 2 playoff teams are positioned in pot number 5. The teams will be drawn in position into the position within each group from the pot that they're drawn in. So the teams from pot 1 will take position number 1 in groups A, B, C onto group F. And once we conclude pot number 5, the draw will basically be complete. Important to remember the teams will play 4 matches in total, 2 home and 2 away. And I think at this point, we can commence, but first, Paulo, let's look at a quick video to introduce the 6 teams that make up pot 1.
La mejor ranqueada de Concacaf y luego con los 3 grandes, ¿no? Que los 3 equipos más importantes en el caso de Estados Unidos, México y ahora pues Canadá selección. Y nuestra Jamaica, otra selección que tiene muchas posibilidades de clasificar a la próxima Copa del Mundo. Honduras, los capaces que han venido de menos a más con este nuevo proceso de Reinaldo Rueda. El Salvador, que si bien es cierto lleva más de un año de no ganar, han tenido una época muy buena y eso les ubica acá en el top 1. Haití, otra selección caribeña que ese presente físico le hace muy complicada para cualquiera de los que lo enfrentarán en la siguiente ronda.
And there we have them, the 6 strongest teams in this evening's draw. ¿Estamos listos, Pablo? Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, let's proceed in drawing the first team from pot 1, please.
Un ejemplo es Panamá, ¿a qué grupo irá? El pot 1, donde está el primero en el grupo A.
Honduras.
Well, Honduras made their 3rd and most recent appearance at the FIFA World Cup Finals back in 2014.
And Honduras, as we said, will take position 1 in Group A. Ahora sí, Pablo, let's continue with the next team, please.
En el grupo B, vamos a ver qué selección, qué combinado de la Concacaf estará en el segundo grupo. Mientras tanto aparece
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. He said that one with a little extra love there. Costa Rica have played in 187 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. That's actually the 2nd most in history.
And I hope all of Costa Rica is watching Paulo, as the fate of Costa Rica is in your hands. So now let's go to find out who will be in Group C.
Ahora vamos a ver quién va para el grupo C. Es nada más y nada menos que Haití.
Haití.
And Haiti are aiming to return to the finals 52 years after their debut in 1974.
And Haiti will take position C1. And now we can proceed to the next team, please, Pablo.
Ahora vamos a ver para el grupo D.
Panamá.
Panama made their FIFA World Cup Finals debut in 2018 and are aiming to qualify for a second time.
And Panama team D1, we can now go. We have 2 left in pot 1. Paulo, por favor. Next team.
Falta Jamaica y El Salvador para ver cómo irán estos niños. Para el grupo E tenemos a
Jamaica.
los Reggae Boys.
And I just felt Bibi bring a little sigh out. He's hoping for the best here because, as we discussed earlier, Jamaica are aiming to return to the FIFA World Cup finals 28 years after their debut when Bibi and company brought them there back for France 98.
And so Jamaica in Group E, and now on to the last team from Pot 1. Please, Pablo.
Salvador estará en el grupo F. La selecta va al grupo F. El conjunto salvadoreño, vamos a recapitular.
El Salvador.
A Honduras en el B, Costa Rica.
And El Salvador,
en el C,
saludos a mis
Jamaica,
salvadoreños.
en
El
B,
Salvador previously
Panamá.
appeared at the
El grupo E,
1970 and
Jamaica,
1982
y en el F,
FIFA
El
World Cup
Salvador. Estos son
finals.
los cabezas del
And with El
grupo.
Salvador going into Group
Y vamos
F,
a
that
ver
concludes
cómo
Pot 1. Pablo,
hemos
thank you very much.
concluido
We will
el
now
pot
move on to
número
Pot 2,
uno. Ahora vamos
but
a
first
conocer
we'll look at a quick video
el pot dos, así
to
que
introduce the 6 teams in Pot 2.
estarán presentando a las selecciones del grupo 2. Y tenemos a Curazao. La gente de Curazao con los hermanos Bastuna. Un equipo que ha sido complicado. Trinidad y Tobago. El conjunto trinitario se clasificó a la Copa América. Estaba ahí, mientras tanto que también la selección de Guatemala, la bicolor, está en el top 2. Nicaragua, una selección que ha venido en ascenso, los pinoleros han venido creciendo bastante en el fútbol. Antigua y Barbuda, este conjunto caribeño que también se va a dar la sorpresa en estas eliminatorias. Surinam, hay varias selecciones complicadas acá en el top 2. Así que vamos a ver cómo quedará cada uno de ellos. Me parece que lo más complicado es Curazao.
And that's the lineup in Pot 2. And now, Pablo, let's see who Honduras will get, if they will be happy or unhappy.
Vamos a ver.
Let's take out the first.
Complicado, están diciendo a Pablo César Banquet. Vamos a ver quién es la primera selección que va a acompañar a los catrachos.
Antigua and
y
Barbuda.
Well, talk about some good home advantage. Antigua and Barbuda went undefeated at home during the 2022 qualifiers.
And they'll be joining Honduras, as we said, in Group A. And now, Pablo, let's see who Costa Rica will get.
¿Quién va con Costa Rica ahora?
Pues sí.
Vamos a ver si le da suerte Pablo César Banquet. Se fue a hacer el cierre. Es quién le tocará.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad y Tobago, Costa Rica, vaya
Sweet, sweet TNT, land of Calypso and Soca. They were debutantes back in 2006, and the Soca Warriors will no doubt be aiming to make a return to the finals 20 years on.
And Trinidad going with B2 with Costa Rica. Let's proceed to go to see who goes into Group C.
Vamos a ver ahora para el grupo
Curazao.
Curazao.
Well, an unbeaten Curacao topped their group in the first qualifying round for 2022.
Curacao, position C2, joining Haiti in Group C. Pablo, please, let's take the next one.
El conjunto de Curazao. Vamos a ver ahora quién va para el grupo D. Nicaragua, los pinoleros, vaya.
Well, Nicaragua finished second in their group in the first qualifying round for the 2022 tournament.
And Nicaragua joining Panama in Group D. Down to the last two teams. Pablo,
vamos
please.
por los últimos dos equipos. Vamos a ver con quién le toca a Guatemala y a Surinam. Ambas selecciones son las que esperan. Guatemala en el grupo de Jamaica.
Now, how about this for a stat? Guatemala had 10 different scorers when they recorded their biggest FIFA World Cup qualifying victory with a 10-0 win in June 2021. 10 different scorers.
I didn't see Bibi look too happy of that.
sorry.
Bibi has to talk to the defense of Jamaica.
We'll go on to the last team from Part 2, please, Pablo.
Así que ya lo hemos visto en la pasada Copa Oro, un partido muy cerrado. Y por último, Surinam con El Salvador. La selecta
Surinam.
empieza a ver con buenos ojos su camino.
And Suriname were group runners-up in the first round of the 2022 qualifiers.
And with that, with Suriname going into position F2, we completed part 2. Thank you, Paulo. We will now proceed to part number 3. And again, let's look at a quick video to introduce the teams that make up part 3.
El grupo de la muerte en este sorteo. Ahora vamos con los equipos, son las selecciones del top 3. San Kitts and Nevis, República Dominicana, otra selección que ha venido en crecimiento en los últimos años. Guyana, que ha participado en diferentes ediciones de la Copa Oro. Puerto Rico, la isla, la selección de Puerto Rico. También tenemos a Santa Lucía. Hay una de estas selecciones que vienen mientras tanto que Cuba. Esa selección será sumamente complicada. Tiene jugadores en diferentes partes de Centroamérica y que ha crecido bastante futbolísticamente. Vamos a ver cómo
and there it is, part 3.
Este sorteo.
We can move right on, Paulo, please. Let's take the first team out.
Que estará acompañando al grupo a Honduras y Antigua y Barbuda. Cuba, la selección de Cuba.
And Cuba reached the quarterfinals in their one FIFA World Cup finals appearance all the way back in 1938, which is when Manolo was born.
Really? Last time I checked, that's not accurate, but I'll take it. And they'll be in Group A as A3. Paulo, please, let's take the next team.
Ahora vamos por el Grupo B. ¿Quién acompaña a Costa Rica?
Saint Kitts and Nevis.
Well, St. Kitts and Nevis finished top of their group in the first round of the 2022 qualifiers.
And they'll be joining Costa Rica and Trinidad and Tobago in Group B. With that, we can go on to the next team, please, Paulo.
Ahora vamos a conocer el integrante del Grupo C. Quedan todavía Guyana, Puerto Rico, Santa Lucía, República Dominicana. Vamos a ver, conocer quién se va en el Grupo C. Es nada más y nada menos que Santa Lucía.
And St. Lucia are in great form right now, winning 7 of their last 10 matches.
You know, St. Lucia was part 1 of my honeymoon, so I have
Part 1?
part 1, yes.
Must be nice when you can afford 2 honeymoons.
Yeah, no, only one honeymoon.
Where was part 2?
Other confederation. I'll have to wait for the next one.
It's all about Concacaf.
St. Lucia will be in Group C as Team C3. Paulo, please, let's go on to the next team for Group D.
Vamos a ver quién acompañará a Panamá y Nicaragua. Guyana.
Guyana, who have been absolutely legendary in boxing and cricket, but they're going to try to do so in football. And Guyana's best FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign to date was in 2014 when they reached the final round.
And with that, Guyana will be in D3. And so we can move on to the next team, please, Paulo.
Vamos a ver quién acompañará a Jamaica y Guatemala en el Grupo E, la República Dominicana y Puerto Rico. Es nada más y nada menos que República Dominicana.
And the Dominican Republic senior team will hope to match their under-20 counterparts. They were the first side to actually represent the nation at a FIFA tournament at last year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
And again, I didn't see Bibi look too happy on that, so let's move quickly to the next team and finish part 3, please, Paulo.
Hay un grupo que se está armando ahí en el eco en Jamaica, Guatemala, República Dominicana. Hasta el momento,
and we talked about home advantage earlier. Well, Puerto Rico are absolutely taking advantage of that. They've not lost a FIFA World Cup qualifying match at home since September 2011.
Impressive. So Puerto Rico team F3. With that, we conclude part 3. Paulo, thank you very much. We move on now to part number 4 with BB. But before, let's quickly look at a video introducing the 6 teams that make up part number 4.
Vamos por el pod número 4, presentando las siguientes selecciones. Bermuda. Estamos teniendo problemas técnicos ahí. Perdonen ustedes. Va a por la actualización del teléfono. San Vicente y las Granadinas. Granada. Montserrat. Estas selecciones que tal vez en el papel no son tan complicadas, pero que de dejar puntos en una cancha de estas se te podrá complicar mucho la clasificación a la siguiente ronda y por ende la ida del Mundial Dominica. Creo que son bastantes selecciones. También lo que complica a las escuadras centroamericanas, aparte de ir a jugar a esas canchas, es el cómo llegar a las mismas, ¿no?
And there it is, pot number 4,
Ahora
BB. The
vamos a
action
ver,
turns to you now.
pot número
Let's take out the
5.
first team from pot number
Vamos a ver
4,
al
please.
jugador Jama aquí, vamos a ver cómo irán integrando cada una de estas selecciones. Para el grupo A, con Honduras, Antigua Barbuda y Cuba, estará nada más y nada menos que el combinado de Bermuda.
Well, this is Bermuda's 9th FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign.
Alexis, you know, Bermuda probably has the
Bermuda
nicest
tenido
uniform.
The pink.
You know, yes, love it.
9 etapas,
Chef's kiss.
podríamos
And
decir,
Bermuda
por la
will
manera
be
de clasificar a
in
la
Group
Copa del
A.
Mundo. Ahora
Baby,
vamos a
please,
ir por el
let's
grupo
take
B.
out the next team.
Vamos a conocer el próximo equipo. Y nada más y nada menos que Granada.
Grenada.
Grenada. Forget about the Spice Girls in the UK because the Spice Boys are from Grenada and they competed in League A during the last 2 Concacaf Nations League campaigns.
I don't know if Paulo He's shaking his head, so we should move on to the next. Grenada will be in Group B. Let's see now Group C.
¿No? También por el viaje siempre Costa Rica es superior a cada uno de los rivales que hasta el momento le ha tocado y de seguro estará peleando en la siguiente ronda por clasificar al Mundial. Ahora vamos por el grupo C.
Barbados.
Ooh, Barbados. I tell you who'd love this one. Rihanna. Because she's from Barbados, of course, and Barbados are participating in their 10th FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. So maybe you'll be lucky if she comes to match.
Maybe she's watching.
Riri, if you're watching, we got you invites.
Barbados will be C4 in Group C. So now, BB, let's move on to the next team, please.
Ahora vamos por el grupo D. Será nada más y nada menos que Montserrat.
And Montserrat are unbeaten in their last 5, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 FIFA World Cup matches.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Montserrat, Team D4 in Group D. And now, on to the last 2, please, BB.
Ahora vamos a conocer en el grupo F.
Dominica.
Dominica, the Nature Isle, known for their wonderful rainforest, and they were recently promoted to League B of the Concacaf Nations League. So I'm sure Jamaica would be happy to make the quick trip over.
So Dominica E4, and now we can finalize pot 4 with the last team, please.
Solo por terminar el protocolo, San Vicente y las Granadinas, el grupo F con El Salvador, Surinam y Puerto Rico.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, St. Vincent and the Grenadines are participating in their 9th FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign.
And with St. Vincent and the Grenadines taking position F4, concludes pot 4. Thank you, BB. We will now move to the last part of this evening's draw, pot number 5. Let's quickly take a look at the last video to see the teams who make up pot number 5.
Pot número 5, Belice. La selección centroamericana que también ha tenido un importante crecimiento. Aruba. Islas Caimán. Ese es bonito ese lugar. Bahamas. El conjunto de Bahamas que también estará participando en esta Copa del Mundo. El ganador Winner 1. Ya los conocíamos anteriormente, que van a ver una edición previa con los peores clasificados, y esos los que estarán clasificando en la siguiente ronda son los que integrarán el Winner 1 y Winner 2, perdón, estarán integrando los.
And there it is, the last pot of this draw. BB, please have the honor of drawing first team out of pot 5.
Estaremos conociendo a continuación.
Cayman Islands.
Islas Caimán.
Well, the Cayman Islands are making their 8th attempt to reach the FIFA World Cup.
And with Cayman Islands, we conclude Group A, so we can move on to the next team, please.
Ahora para el grupo B. Nada más y nada menos que
Bahamas.
The Bahamas are participating in their 7th FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign.
And Bahamas as Team B5 concludes Group B. Let's move on to the next,
Bahamas
please.
se concluye el grupo B, ya están las 5 selecciones. Costa Rica, Trinidad y Tobago, San Kitts y Nevis, Grenada y Bahamas para el grupo B. Mientras que en el grupo A, Honduras, Antigua y Barbuda, Cuba, Bermuda y Islas Caimán. Y para el grupo C, Aruba estará acompañando a Haití, Curazao.
And Aruba were recently promoted to League B of the Concacaf Nations League.
And with Aruba, we complete another group. Group C is now complete. BB, please, let's move on to the next.
Ahora para el grupo D. Panamá, Nicaragua, Guyana, Montserrat. Me estará acompañando. Vamos a ver si es alguno de los winners. No, es Belice. La escuadra central.
This is Belize's 8th FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign.
And with Belize, we complete Group D. We're down to the last two, the two playoffs.
Vamos a conocer
BB,
los otros
please.
dos que saldrán de los playoffs ya antes mencionados.
Winner, playoff 2.
Well, the British Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands will meet in playoff 2 to determine who joins this group.
And remember, we'll have to wait till March of this year to see who will advance. And now, to finalize the draw, please, BB, draw the last team.
Las Vírgenes Británicas o estadounidenses. Mientras que para el grupo F, el ganador 1.
Winner, playoff 1.
And the winner of playoff 1 between the Turks and Caicos Islands and Anguilla will join this group.
And with that playoff number 1, we conclude Group F. We've completed pot number 5. Thank you, BB. And with that, Alexis, we've completed the draw. So what do you say we quickly recap all the groups?
Let's do it.
Okay. Group A, led by Honduras and joined by Antigua and Barbuda, Cuba, Bermuda, and the Cayman Islands. Group B, led by Costa Rica, joined by Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, and the Bahamas. Group C, with Haiti, joined by Curaçao, St. Lucia, Barbados, and Aruba. Group D, with Panama, Nicaragua, Guyana, Montserrat, and Belize. Group E, with Jamaica, joined by Guatemala, Dominican Republic, Dominica, and the winner of playoff number 2. And last but not least, Group F, led by El Salvador, joined by Suriname, Puerto Rico, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the winner of playoff number 1. Alexis, with that, I give it back to you.
Thank you so much, Manolo. And I can imagine that some of you out there are already plotting your team's route to the final round. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but from our legends, there were a couple of smiles, a couple of grunts, a couple of sighs when we were building up the group. So let's get into their heads right now, shall we? Let's start off with you, Paulo. Looking at Costa Rica's group with Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, and the Bahamas. Who are you expecting some serious competition from? Is it TNT?
It's gonna be tough, the group, as always, despite our experience. But I think it will be nice to go on a holiday to those countries And
en estas
not disrespect, you know,
No,
con
of
todo
course.
respeto,
nice
¿no? Con
countries,
suficiente
yeah.
respeto, son
Beautiful
bonitos
countries
lugares,
indeed, and Paulo's already
lugares muy
thinking of a
bonitos para
holiday.
la
Imagine
persona
that
que
one day of
ese
work.
rancho,
Va a ser
para ese
difícil.
rancho.
Baby, let's go to you now, of course, as it relates to the Reggae Boys, because
Ahora
when
vamos a hablar de
Paulo
los
pulled out
Reggae Boys.
Guatemala, and I
Copa
read that stat earlier
Guatemala.
about 10 different goal scorers, and that was only back in 2021, you kind of said, ooh, a little worried about the Reggae Boys?
¿Qué pasa
I mean,
con
it's
los Reggae
it's a
Boys?
tough group,
Es un
but
grupo
I'm not so much worried.
difícil.
I think the
Yo
coaches
creo que los
will be doing the
entrenadores
homework by now,
estarán
by
ahora.
seeing the group. So
Así
I
que
think the boys
yo pienso que
will
los chicos
do what they
pueden-
need to do to get through the zone. I
pueden
mean,
avanzar.
with the talent that we have today,
tienen
and
bastante
with the team
talento,
that we have in place and the group of
y los
players
equipos
that we have
en
to select
grupo,
from, I think once we go out there and execute the game to the best of our ability,
yo pienso
we should
que
be coming out
pueden
on top.
avanzar y estar
Yeah,
en
and
el top
Paulo,
del
you
grupo.
spoke earlier, you mentioned the experience of Costa Rica.
Estamos
You've been to 2
hablando
World Cups, and
todos
Costa Rica have actually
sobre la
qualified for the last
experiencia para
3
clasificar en las
FIFA World
últimas
Cups.
3
So,
Copas del
will
Mundo.
that experience, you think, help the team
experiencia
progress,
ayuda al
dare I
equipo
say,
para
easily?
mejorar.
Háblame un poquito de la experiencia de los ticos.
A ver, no va a ser fácil, ¿verdad? No va a ser fácil. Sí tenemos la experiencia, sí tenemos jugadores que ya han pasado por ahí, que ya han hecho varias eliminatorias, que ya han jugado mundiales, pero entendemos y respetamos el área que han crecido, ¿no? Entonces, pero sí veo a Costa Rica en la siguiente ronda.
Oh, big talk there. Very confident, Paulo. He said that, of course, he knows that Costa Rica will lean into that experience, that they have a lot of players that have not just played in many CONCACAF qualifiers, but have also played in numerous World Cups. So they will definitely be there to guide some of the younger ones. And because of that, he's slyly saying that he feels like Costa Rica are favorites in this group and to get to yet another World Cup. Baby, let's go back to you again, but not so much talking about the Reggae Boys. I want to talk about the Reggae Girls, because we talked about the history that you helped Jamaica make back in 1998. The Reggae Girls have qualified for 2 back-to-back Women's World Cups. They got out of the group at the last Women's World Cup, the first Caribbean nation to ever do that and get out of the group at any FIFA World Cup. So do you think the boys can draw some serious inspiration from what the girls have achieved?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, massive shout out to the Reggae Girls and their staff. I think they have made us super proud. I think they have done an excellent job over the last 2 campaigns, and it's inspiration for the nation. So I think the boys will look at that to give them a little bit of push, and also with what they are doing as well, because whenever I watch them, I see them, they grow from strength to strength in each game, and they are a team pulling together, and they have tournaments coming up, and I'm sure they'll be using those tournaments as landmarkers to make sure that they are ready for the World Cup campaign whenever the qualifiers start.
And worst case, we'll just have you lace up your boots and go out there again, right?
I think we have enough to do that.
All
I
right.
hope so.
Fingers crossed indeed, of course. Well, all that's left for me to do right now is to thank our legends for giving us a helping hand, and of course to thank Manolo for steering us through it all so smoothly. And also, thanks to you guys, yes, you, all of you who are watching, and to keep on top of all of the latest news in the build-up to the games in June and much, much more, FIFA Plus is the place to go. So now the CONCACAF nations know what they must do to take the first step towards joining their neighbors at the FIFA World Cup 26. It's going to be the most inclusive FIFA World Cup yet. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. So here's a little taste of what we can expect. And until then, it's goodbye for now.
Así que muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
An eagle flies to the maple tree beneath 50 stars as our continent unites to open its arms. Y dice, bienvenido al mundo, fais comme chez toi. 2026, North America's footballing fairy tale, as teams from across the globe set a course for a FIFA World Cup of unprecedented scale. What can I say? We like to do things big here. That's right, 48 teams, 16 cities, across 3 great nations, all coming together for the biggest party on Earth. And boy, do we know how to party. Soak up life in the South, speed it up in the East, to slow things down in the West. From barbecue to the Big Apple, Mexican fiesta and Texas rodeo, the Toronto hustle to the lush hillsides of Monterrey. Coast to coast, north to south, that's right, we really do have it all. But the real party? That's on the pitch. Come on now, this is exactly our first rodeo. Roll up! A brand new blockbuster is coming to town. The next gripping installment of sport's greatest story, featuring a star-studded cast. The sights set on glory and the divine. 2026, the next spectacle in football's grand design. As these three lands, diverse and spectacular, stand up to prepare themselves for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Muchas gracias por ser parte de pues un poco de lo que hemos hablado acá sobre el sorteo. Esto ha sido todo, un placer enorme, muchas gracias, saludarles, será hasta la próxima ocasión que nos estaremos viendo, ¿no? Más adelante, tratando la manera ahí de hablar más de fútbol y sobre lo que sucede en este hermoso deporte.